Hi Taurus, welcome to your one thing reading. Everything you need to know about this reading is in the description box below, as well as the recommend a reader shout out, which goes to Gemstone Tarot. Hopefully you get a chance to click on that link and stop by and show her some love and support. All right, so this is your one thing reading for June 9th through July 1st. All right, one thing for Taurus. One thing you need to focus on to bring and restore order, calm. You can bring confirmation. Seven of, whoopsie, Pentacles. Why am I putting that right there? Can you still see it? Yay. Seven of Pentacles. Are you at the crossroads, Taurus? Perhaps wanting to restore some order or thinking, oh, I don't know about this. Maybe I better pull back. Is the cost becoming greater than the payoff? Wow. Ooh. Holy cow, nothing but Pentacles here. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, so we've got Knight of Pentacles. This is about you waiting for an offer because you know what you have to offer. So when you're ready to make it, it's sure and solid, but this is also waiting for something that comes from what you give, making wise choices with your resources and who to give that to because you know your self-worth. This is a time, this could be a period of you being by yourself, waiting for someone to step up their game so that they can be worthy of all that you have to offer. Thank you very much. And it's about reciprocity and equality. Like, you know, I am worth it. So if you're going to give to me, know that you will get it back, but you have to also give what you know what I mean? Like, this is somebody who's really kind of standing their ground and wanting an offer of stability and security because they can also provide it. This is not somebody that's just wanting to be rescued or salvaged. And we've got holding out because you feel like in the past, maybe you've gotten the raw end of the deal here. And because you might have suspected that, now there's this disconnect. And you're in this period of reflection and healing about, hey, maybe things were not as balanced, or maybe this person just can't give that. They can't give the stability, the balance, the reciprocity that I need and want. And I'm certainly not going to make up the difference for them. There has to be an exchange, otherwise it's a charity or a ministry, not a relationship. Seven of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. I'm going to scoot this over. Queen of Wands, World, Death, the Chariot, and the Ten of Swords. Okay. All right, so your focus needs to be on healing. This is not about reunion or reconciliation. This is about you healing. And what's this Temperance about? You could be dealing with Sagittarius, a Cancerian, a Scorpio, an Aries, Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. What's this Temperance about? Moving to safer, calmer, moving to safer, calm, emotional waters. Things need to be brought into balance, and healing needs to be perspective. This is time apart or separation for healing and compassion, particularly self-healing, self-compassion, that sort of thing. This is not that you're bestowing it on someone else. You are removing yourself from a situation because you need to heal and you need balance and perspective. What's this Seven of Swords? So perhaps we got the Temperance again. This is maybe during a break, someone that cheated, or you have broken up because someone did, there was lying, deceit, or betrayal, stealth involved. That regardless of what you did and what you agreed upon, it was futile because this person still continued the same behavior, only they were better about it, sneakier about it, whatever. But this could be dealing again with the Sagittarius, but this is needing to heal from a situation where you were betrayed or betrayal was involved. What's this Ace of Pentacles about? Good. But because you might not realize it, honestly, let's be honest, because when this happens, our first reaction is, oh, hell no, but then we're also crying at 3 a.m. sometimes. So some of us are fortunate and that happens and it's like, oh, okay, bye. But sometimes it's a real, it does take a number on you. So this is saying that quite possibly you are stronger than you think you are, and you did the right thing by removing yourself and getting gone. You are on the right track, and it is wise to question and to be in a period of review over this and to be at the crossroads. We got Seven of Pentacles here, Seven of Pentacles here, really wanting to take the time to decide if this is worth it anymore. And sometimes it's an easy decision, sometimes it is not. However, I hate to say it, but you got nothing to worry about. Honestly, you're set, you're straight, you're safe, you're secure, your stability is not affected. You might even be considering. I don't know if you are. Well, take the time. Just take the time. If you are considering a second chance or a new beginning with this person, you need to do your due diligence and take some time to think about that. Perhaps you're regretting giving this person a second chance already. Maybe this is the second go around and you're like, nope, good, because that's going to set you free. And I don't mean to be jaded or, I'm not talking poorly, but you should be questioning, you should be skeptical, you should be regretting. This is not somebody that can give you what you want. What is this Queen of Wands about? Good. Taking charge. Very good. Queen of Wands about. Yep. Taking charge. Making decisions that benefit you. Being detached emotionally and making decisions that are going to benefit you. Getting things in order. Moving and shaking and getting out there and taking care of business. It could be that you're dating online. It could be this is you getting your clerical legal affairs in order. Doing some clerical work right now. Some sort of housekeeping. Financially, that sort of thing, and taking care of business. This could also be that because of this situation that you are removed from, you are online looking for someone, or you are talking to someone about how to heal from this. Maybe you're looking for another fit to your personality, because sometimes the Queen of Wands represents that person that is just that really dynamic, passionate fit, and you enjoy doing things with each other, and it just represents a really dynamic partnership. Either way, whatever the one common thing they have is you making the executive decision and taking decisive action to move forward. So maybe you're even still thinking about, you two are in this separation period and you're thinking about, do I want to get back together with this person? But all the while, you're moving forward, you're taking care of business, you're understanding what and why and how. Maybe you're talking to people or friends about that. But this is the search of information. This is being clear, organized. This is being decisive. So it's like you're trying to stay on top of it. You're not just kind of falling apart, which nothing wrong with that, but you do have to get back up because life, What's this world about? I'll tell you what this world about kicking ass and taking names. What is the world about? Closure. Because without it, it's going to hold you back. This is about, okay, so right here, we're kind of in this where we're separated. There's some time apart, but you might still be debating an offer of a second chance with someone, or you might still be regretting that you gave them, but either way, you're still connected to this person. So there's something about an offer of forgiveness and a second chance, or regretting that you extended that offer because the same thing happened again. So while you might be healing and on the surface, you're like, yeah, I'm moving forward, I'm making decisions, I'm figuring this out, but I'm also being social, I'm not reclusing myself, I'm doing all the things, but you need to close out this with this person. We got the Death card, we got the World, and we got the Devil. So it's not enough that you got distance from them. God, I feel like I'm like the non-relationship, doom and gloom tarot, because I'm like, nope, no relationship for you. I'm, nope. But it's what's here. So on the surface, it looks like, we're taking some time apart because there was betrayal or deception involved, and I am not letting that slow me down. I'm out there getting after it. I'm living the best life. I'm doing and going and making friends and finding this and blah, 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 blah. And yet there's still this that you're kind of connected to, or it's like in the back of your mind, because you're still going back and forth, debating, considering, and you need to not. It needs to be a decisive cut, because the lack of closure is holding you back. This is you on fire from this. This is you setting it in motion, and this is you on fire if you're able to cut the connection of what's holding you back. I know it's easier said than done. I'm not saying, it's just really easy, just don't talk to him again. It's totally fine. No. I know it's not that easy. But continue to make those decisive cuts. Continue to make this to keep your distance. Continue moving forward and choosing things that bring you emotional health, because eventually you're going to get to the point where it's over, it's done, this has changed, there's no going back. But by kind of debating and bargaining, it still keeps you connected to it, and that's fine if you're processing through it and it's forward movement. But any steps backwards, it's going to keep you connected to like this toxic situation. It's going to hold you back. All right, what's this Death about? This is Death about. So of course, you know, you taken some time apart because of some kind of betrayal and whatnot, and you know, lies, deceit, all that. You're going forward and moving and doing and making cuts, and you know, I ended it. It's fine, but holy cow! Look at this. 777. No, what did I say? 7777. Good gracious. That's all right. That's the relationship is in crisis, and there's still sort of that intrigue. Don't see 4 sevens very often. I think that's a first for me on readings, but there's still that curiosity, there's still that negotiation, or you're tempted to do so. And I was just thinking about it. There's something that is, it's like you're doing everything you should on the surface. It looks, you know, because yeah, you're a strong person and whatnot, but there's still that internal battle of wanting to give this person a second chance, hoping that enough time has gone by to where they're going to rise up or come correct. And I don't think that's possible. I don't think with this person, at least not yet, and maybe enough time has not gone by, because it's just not going to be worth it. It's not going to be worth it. If you've already given them the second chance, this is you regretting it. If you haven't yet, you will regret it. You're going to have your doubts. It's just that it would feel better to be around them, but it's not going to solve the issue. So yeah, you're around them, and then almost immediately you start having regrets again. It's just an empty void right now, and you miss them, and you're taking the time to heal. But this is not permanent separation. This is a self-healing and forgiveness, so you can get back that balance and perspective, and it's almost like so you can return, but it shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't be just like, well, we're taking some time apart. It needs to be definitive. All right, what's his death card about? This is a very clear progression. It makes sense on the surface, right? But it's never that easy. What's his death card about? Taurus. Making the necessary cuts. Cutting things out of your life that no longer serve you. Same thing right here. Enacting change, making necessary cuts, ending things decisively because it no longer serves you. What's his Chariot about? Good. We got forward movement. But this is also the will, just like the Queen of Wands is and the Queen of... This is also that will for forward movement, like willing yourself to move forward and that drive and determination to do so. You have everything you need to do that. Taking some time apart is not the answer, because I feel like you two are doing this. This is a constant thing with you two. It's like things get weird, but you still maintain the connection. This needs to be a decisive ending, if it isn't already. What's this Chariot about? We got the 4 of Wands here. Marriage. Okay. Interesting. Because this is decisive, forward, like the force of will for communal connection. Transition. Not marriage, it's transition. So this, okay, perhaps the relationship has been stagnant because neither one of you are making the decisive cuts. Perhaps you're doing that in your own life, but you're still connected. And at this point, staying connected and renegotiating the ending or a new beginning is going to be what holds you back. You need that closure. And if that person's not going to initiate the final stroke, a pen, or whatever you want to call it, you need to. Because you need to be very determined about your forward movement, not in the marriage, but in transition. This 4 of Wands is also about transition, and this is about transition. So this is about you needing to be decisive and assertive about the transition and accepting that things are over. This is a 10 of Wands, or 10 of Swords, and we got the Death card here. So this is being assertive and literally having to, I hate to say do that. There's something about, it feels like this person's going to go stagnant, or they're not going to be cooperative, and you're going to have to really champion this cause to get yourself closure and forward movement by kind of taking over the transition or taking over whatever it's going to take to end things. And if we're talking legally, it's like you're going to have to be the one that really gets the ball moving. But if it's just a matter of you moving out and moving, if this was a more positive reading, this would be about moving forward with the marriage or the relationship, like reunion. This is not, though. This is about you getting clear of that which is holding you back, and not just taking the time out for healing and for balance, but that needs to get transmuted into realizing that this is the end of the road for you two. That this person cannot give you the stability and the security that you need. They cannot reciprocate what you have to offer. What's this 10 of Swords? You will always be questioning and always have your doubts. It's Ten of Swords for Taurus. Ten of Swords. Why? Because it's a burden that simply needs to be set down. It's not about somebody sharing the burden at this point with the Ten of Swords. No, this simply is too much for you to manage anymore. It is simply time to set this down and end this. What else for Taurus? You need to, yep, okay. That's for Taurus. Focus on stability, restoring stability, balance, and forgiveness and healing for yourself, because this situation is not going to change. And it's not just that taking some time. No, you're done. This is getting transmuted to this. This is not about taking some time apart. This is a permanent vacation. No more negotiation. No more going back and forth about this. What else for Taurus? I have one confirmation card, please. Three of Cups. Could be third-party situation. This could be, I can't remember who started saying that in our base. I was saying I can't remember, the camera got shut off, but I can't remember who started calling it that, and someone was commenting the other day, like, everybody refers to it as that. Well, you know, it's kind of paints a picture and drives a point. Anyway, Three of Cups. Perhaps it is time in your separation to get out there and have some fun. Perhaps this is about you spending some time with some friends, because you're going to need it, because we got the Death and the Ten of Swords and the Ten of Wands. This has been dragging out for a while. This is not this first go around with this person. We've got issues of stability and security here being the main issue, and chances are you have spent an inordinate amount of time going back and trying to renegotiate that and convince them or wait for it, because when you're interested in security and stability, you also are very patient and you're looking at the long haul. So you give someone a lot of chances. There's a lot of opportunity. There might even be some coaching and grooming and therapy and this and that. There's a lot of chances and patience given. And so this whole we're taking some time apart, that's really just to avoid this, because this is not the first time you've been here with this person. And it is painful. So you are going to need that wise counsel. We got the Queen of Swords here, Six of Swords. You're going to need that friendship, the Four of Wands, the Three of Cups. You're going to need those friends to help you transition and to help you bear the load here. And could also be that this is something of an issue with the Devil here. It could be that the issue of overindulging, someone prioritizing that over connection, and that's why there wasn't the stability. It was because somebody was just always into the next big get or high, and there was no way you can stabilize it. It's not your job to anyway. So just consider that you might be in need of some friend time, some celebration time, some getting out of the house time. Sometimes the Three of Cups also can mean a reunion, a reconciliation. And in light of what I said, how this is just like taking some time apart for healing, but consider you've got the Death card, the Ten of Swords, and the Ten of Wands. I feel like on the one hand, it's almost like there's an avoidance of really wanting to deal with what really is going on here. It's much better for all concerned and watching to be like, yeah, we're taking some time apart, because there's a preservation of this really strong, stable image. But inside, you're falling apart. And so it's, at least in negotiating and just taking some time apart, we don't have to deal with the finality of it. So just consider that you might just be staving off the inevitable, just saying. No judgment, no shade, but it is hard. This is not easy. All right. What else for Taurus? What else for Taurus? Okay, so we got the Ship, and we got, is that gonna, oh, I hate it when it does that. We got the Ship, and we've got the Birds or Owls. So this is a need for diplomacy. This is a need for lack of emotional reaction or influence. This is about needing to be wise and diplomatic and judicious in dealing with the situation at hand. This could be somebody that you are involved with that takes a lot of business trips, or that you met abroad, and that's why it might be dragging out so long, is because you're not logistically close, so you kind of can pass the instabilities issues off on that. But even if you were logistically in the same area, these issues would still present, which would bring a whole nother level, wouldn't it? I don't know. This could be somebody from far away all of a sudden sends communication that they're going to be in town, and this is about a reunion, and then that's when this gets addressed. And I know I'm fighting it here, but this is death, and this is this is not about reconciliation. There's that allure though. Remember, I mentioned intrigue. Absence does make the heart grow fonder. Just saying. Okay, this is the of Swords right here, and this is the Seven of Pentacles. Ten of Swords right here, Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles. So this is also this is probably, well, I was gonna say renegotiating the ending, but rather it is maybe this is an ending that you regret, and there's a lot of back and forth. There's this real sense of pride here, honestly, that for all intents and purposes on the outside, there's this image of stability and being steadfast and doing all the right things and having that patience and giving your due diligence and all that. But honestly, I really feel like it's an avoidance of dealing with the pain and the loss and losing this person. And because there is a real aversion to closure right here. There is this real that doing everything else but the final blow, but the final, crossing of the T or whatever of ending it. There's a real aversion to getting closure on this. So it's almost like you'd rather leave it open-ended, or just kind of it is what it is, because you do have the luxury perhaps of someone being far away, or there's that distance between you to where, but that always can be renegotiated. This isn't final, and there's been a reluctance to make the ending final, and this isn't the first time you've had this issue with this person either. Okay, all right. That is where I will leave it. I will end it, Taurus. I thank you for stopping by. I hope this was helpful. I don't mean to sound judgy. I do feel like, though, that, and it doesn't happen often, but I felt like I need to go, look, I know what you're doing. I know this is really an avoidance of ending it because in the name of patience and longevity, and we're just taking some time, it's also an excuse to still maintain some modicum of a connection with someone. I know how that goes. So I just felt like I need to speak to it. I'm sure I'm going to get, sucker punched here and there for it, but 2 cents, right? All right. I hope to see you in the next reading. You take care, and you stay focused on that self-healing with that time apart also, okay? This is about closure for you, not about healing so you can go back to battle. Okay, I hope to see you in the next reading. Take care.